Hello and welcome to another issue of the Dot Report. This month, we cover the $4.5 million settlement Enzo Biochem has agreed to pay to the states of New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. Then we discuss CISA's warnings about the Jenkins vulnerability, take a look at the lavish lifestyles that led to the arrest of 2 hackers in Italy, and lastly, we review a new cyber criminal tactic that involves exploiting popular software searches. Let's jump right in. Enzo Biochem, a New York-based biotechnology firm, has agreed to a $4.5 million settlement with the states of New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. This follows a severe data breach that exposed the personal and medical information of approximately 2.4 million patients across these 3 states, with nearly 1.5 million of those affected being from New York alone. The incident was triggered by a ransomware attack that took advantage of serious security flaws in Enzo Biochem's systems, and hackers managed to infiltrate the company's network using 2 employee login credentials with administrative privileges. Those credentials were shared among 5 employees, however, one set hadn't been updated in over a decade. The company's lack of basic cybersecurity measures meant the ransomware went undetected for several days, allowing the threat actors to install malicious software and steal about 1.4 terabytes of sensitive patient data. The data included names, addresses, birth dates, social security numbers, and even medical information. To make matters worse, a previous HIPAA risk assessment in 2021 had already identified these risks and recommended corrective actions. But Enzo Biochem failed to implement the proper solutions. Now, as part of the new settlement, Enzo Biochem will pay $4.5 million in total, with $2.8 million of that going to New York alone. Additionally, the company is finally committed to improving its cybersecurity protocols. This settlement underscores the critical importance of data security, especially in the healthcare sector, as patients deserve to be protected from fraud and identity theft as they get the care they need. The U.S. Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, CISA, has issued an urgent warning about several critical vulnerabilities discovered in Jenkins, an open-source automation server widely used in software development, especially for continuous integration and continuous delivery pipelines. If these vulnerabilities are exploited, however, attackers could potentially execute arbitrary code, elevate their privileges, and even take full control over Jenkins servers. Given the vital role in automating various stages of the software development lifecycle, this could lead to significant security breaches within affected organizations. Making matters worse, these flaws impact both the Jenkins core software and several plugins that are essential to its functionality. As such, CISA's advisory is part of its ongoing efforts to enhance the security of critical software infrastructure. The agency is also urging organizations using Jenkins to immediately apply the available patches or security updates provided by the Jenkins community. Unfortunately, this isn't the first time that this software development tool has been targeted for its widespread use and the critical role it plays in software development, making it a high-value target for cybercriminals. In addition to downloading the available patches, CISA has also advised organizations to reassess their overall security practices, as implementing additional layers of security can help protect against new threats that emerge every single day. Italian law enforcement has recently arrested 2 hackers connected to the theft of $14 million in cryptocurrency from Holograph, a blockchain technology company. The suspects, who have been identified as a Serbian national and a Ukrainian national, had been living in Italy since the heist, where their lavish and luxurious lifestyles drew attention. The heist occurred in July of 2023 and involved the exploitation of a vulnerability in Holograph's blockchain bridge, a crucial system that facilitates the transfer of assets between different blockchain networks. By exploiting this vulnerability, the hackers were able to siphon off cryptocurrency as it was being transferred without any detection. To cover their tracks, the stolen funds were initially moved to various cryptocurrency wallets, but forensic investigators managed to trace those movements back to the suspects. At the time of the arrest, authorities seized numerous luxury items, including expensive cars, high-end watches, and large sums of cash, which all connect the suspects to the stolen funds. This case highlights the growing sophistication of cyber attacks within this cryptocurrency sector, where even companies with advanced security systems can fall victim to highly coordinated and technical heists. However, the successful capture of the suspects was achieved through international cooperation among different law enforcement agencies, which underscores the crucial role of global collaboration in the borderless fight against cybercrime. Cybercriminals are increasingly targeting vulnerabilities in widely used software, with a recent focus on software libraries like Apache Commons File Upload, which is a popular Java library. A critical vulnerability identified as CVE 2024-1234 has been discovered in this library and affects the deserialization of data, which allows attackers to execute remote code on a victim system. This flaw is particularly alarming because it can be exploited across a variety of applications that rely on this library for file uploads. The exploitation process involves sending a specially crafted request to the server using the vulnerable library. Then, once the server processes this request, the attacker gains the ability to execute the arbitrary code, potentially leading to a complete takeover of the affected server and exposing the entire network. The severity of this vulnerability lies in its widespread impact, as many enterprise applications depend on Apache Commons File Upload. As such, security experts, including those at CISA, are urging organizations to update their software to the latest patched versions and to implement additional security measures, such as input validation and network segmentation, which should help mitigate these risks. That's it for this month, so thanks for watching. I'm Andrew Mancini with Dot Security, and this has been the Dot Report. Stay safe out there. We'll see you next month.